mindfulness is a pretty popular topic. We're hearing about it, whether it's in the building, we're hearing about it at home, somebody's talking about meditation. I wanted to take just a moment and talk about demystifying some of the pieces around mindfulness. Now, when I first heard mindfulness, and maybe this is just me, I was thinking, is it my mind is full? Because I've got too many emails, phone calls, schedules I gotta take for my son and stuff. We all have that. We all are experiencing overload in different ways, and mindfulness is one way for us to step back, get a moment, and be in this moment. So it's not the past, it's not the future, it's being here. And that's what we're trying to get to with mindfulness. Is mindfulness all about peace and relaxation? So as soon as I become mindful, I am now in eternal peace. No, that's not what happens. Mindfulness is being able to say that I realize that in this moment, I might not feel good. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to feel good in the future or that I've always felt bad in the past. It's about being here and in that moment. And that's the most important part is about mindfulness, really getting into this moment right now. So, what I'd like everyone to do is just for a moment, feel your shoes. Feel your feet in your shoes. You don't actually have to bow down and do it. But until I said, feel your feet in your shoes, you really didn't feel your feet in your shoes. We just kind of go about our day. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring you back from your mind and everything you're doing back into your body. And that's part of what mindfulness is coming back and realizing where you are. There's a bunch of different simple breathing techniques that you can do. Whether that's, there's the Breathe app that you can download on your phones. There's a number of different meditation apps. I would like to invite you, if you're comfortable, just take a moment and take a good, deep breath through your nose. And when you do that, I want you to feel, where do I feel that? Do I feel it in my nose? Do I feel my chest expanding? Do I feel my stomach sticking out? Because sometimes when you breathe deeply, that happens. But that's what we want you to do, is to start to think about how that breath feels in your body. And it brings you away from the past and the future to right now. For me, if my day is starting to go sideways, I do a 20 breath meditation. And all I do is I shut my door, I sit in my chair, and I breathe, I take 20 good breaths. That gets me from being on the edge back to neutral. Let's switch to talk about education opportunities. Things are always changing. Recently, I was going on a trip with my dad, and he said, oh, we're going somewhere. And he then went back to his desk, opened and rustled around in some drawers, and then brought out a paper map. Does everyone know that paper maps actually existed? Yes. So he's now folding out this map and trying to figure out where we're going. And I'm like, Dad, we don't need to do that. Knowledge has changed, and now I just need to know the address so I can put it in my smartphone to get where we're going. This is a simple illustration that what we need to do, the skills we need, continue to evolve. Reading a map was really awesome 15 years ago. And if, depending on where you are in the country, you still may need to read a map. But for us here in the Philadelphia area, we've got it on our phones. Knowledge is changing. We need to make sure we continue to evolve our skills. Inglis is doing a fantastic job investing in each of us. We've got a number of different opportunities up here. First, I'm going to talk about 1199C. For those of you who are members of the union, we have fantastic educational benefits. If you're a full-time member, you get tuition reimbursement. If you're a CNA and you want to move to an LPN, 1199C is a program. Thankfully, we've got Jim here with us today. So if you have questions about what's available to you from 1199C, Jim's going to be hanging out for a few moments right up here. So if you want to know what's available, what's possible, not just from where we are today, but I want to do something else, Jim's here. He's a great guy to be able to talk to. Let's talk about leadership. We've got a couple of fantastic things that are going on in leadership. We did our first session for the high-performing teams model. This was a great session with a number of tools and exercises leaders can use to build their teams through a number of different phases through that team building process. I haven't seen anything like it before. It's awesome. The other thing is the Villanova Clinical Leadership Program. We brought in leaders from, educators from Villanova that have both the clinical chops and the leadership chops to come together and start to help our leaders build that skill set. We've got Relias, okay? Mandatory show of hands. How many people think that Relias is just for compliance training? It's okay. When I was here, I was like, hey, maybe that's all it is. There is a ton of stuff in Relias. You want to find out about how to work inside change management. You want to work on personal development, communications, project management. There is a ton of stuff in Relias that is there for you for free. You can take it. The final thing we're going to talk about is we're looking to do a pilot with a company called edX. A few years ago, MIT and Harvard said, we've got fantastic content. How can we bring this to more people? So they formed this company, edX, that allows them to start taking fantastic content from huge universities, whether it is Boston University, Berkeley, Princeton, and they're taking that content and bringing it into an online format. This will allow you to start to add certificates onto your degree, onto your program in LinkedIn, and really focus in on what is the newest, hottest thing that's going on. So these are just some of the topics that we're helping to keep your skills sharp and make sure that we're continuing to build you from reading the map to where the cell phone's going. And with that, I'll turn it over to Cheryl to talk about the engagement survey.
Hello, everyone. I just want to give you a recap, just to bring you up to date. So, in May of 2019, of this year, I don't know why I keep saying it like that, like it's another year, but we had an update of the survey that we took in December of 2018. And so from that survey, we came up with themes. And so the themes are noted here. They came about the questions. So when you took the survey in September, you had these questions that you answered. So they were about the mission, they were about leadership, it was about how people felt supported by their supervisor, and safety, and also collaboration and teamwork. The Pulse survey was launched in September. We were handed over for 30 days, and we had 195 respondents, which equates to 28% of the staff. Now, when we asked people, you know, did you take the survey? A lot of people said, well, we didn't have anything to complain about. Everything's going well, so we didn't take it. What I want to tell you is that don't just take it when you're feeling bad about things, but also take it when things are working well, so we have a higher response rate. You see here by the pie chart, we have 93 people that took it in the House. We have community support services, took 35, 49 was shared services, the foundation. Housing actually had 10, and then there were people who didn't list who they worked for. The survey questions, IGLA's mission yielded an 88% positive response. So that was 5% increase since the December one. We also asked about being kept updated with news. And so people responded with a 71% response rate that was positive, which was 6% increase of the December 2018. Our team has established trusting and supportive relationships. In your first survey, what we did was we asked a question about teamwork. And a lot of people responded by looking at people who support them on their floor or day to day. We have a collaboration and teamwork strategic initiative, and we want to make sure that people are collaborating with teams, not just your teams in nursing and dining, but teams with shared services and IGLA's House, CSS, and IGLA's House or housing. We want to make sure that we're all working together for the common good. I Feel Safe at Work was the same as it was in 2018. We were happy it did not go down. We actually heard positive feedback from residents that stated that they no longer hear that people feel bullied. And I also had staff state that that has improved since the last survey. My supervisor supports me yielded an 82% positive feedback, and that was a 6% increase from the last time in December. I am likely to stay in English for the next 3 years. Those are questions that gauge engagement. So when we talk about, how committed are our staff? We had 75% say that they would stay here, and we had another 72% state that they would recommend somebody to work here. Now that's good, we want that to get higher. So we have comments, and I know that I got feedback from the last town hall. People said, well, I didn't see my questionnaire. Are you looking at all the questions? Well, we put questions to themes. So anything that's related to leadership, anything that's rated for satisfaction, we group it all together and spell it out in themes. So 64% of the comments were very positive. Staff feel that we are moving in the right direction. And they shared excitement about the recognition program. 25% of the comments shows that some staff feel that while we're moving in the right direction, they feel that we have a lot of new leaders and that all teams are not collaborative. And they wanted to express their issues with stress. Staff also commented on having supportive leaders, but would love to see more interaction. So leaders, your staff want to see more interaction with you, not just when it's time for a write-up or to tell them what tasks to do. They want to build relationships. And 11% expressed concerns for leadership and coworkers. They don't feel supported by English and have concerns regarding the point-click care and lack of respect and bullying. But that's significantly decreased since the last survey. So you asked and we responded. You asked about opportunities to be recognized, training and development, and cascading communication. By cascading of communication, we're talking about you receiving communication from your direct leaders. You might have communication to come down from the senior team to the next level, and everybody should be hearing it. This should not be the only forum that you hear communication. What we did was implement a global recognition program for all employees. You just heard Scott talk about the partnership with colleges in collaboration with the 1199C, and we are having more frequent town hall meetings so that you understand everything that we're working on and how you can be a part of that. We talked about more flexible vacation utilization. A lot of people asked about the use it or lose it for non-union staff. So we've gotten rid of that piece, and we're also working with union to help the same thing for union staff. So that has to be negotiated, and right now we're in the middle of updating our systems in HR. So we're going to have to wait until that's completed, but that is something that the union is open to, and we're just going to talk about when it's going to be implemented and when it's going to take effect. Some of you have already experienced that we moved the date for the time that you have to use it. That might be an option as we move forward until we get to that place, but you'll hear more information about that as we speak with the union. And then there are trainings that were held to better understand compensation and the philosophy of the recruitment process. So we've run those trainings, leaders and staff attended, and I also understand that leaders would like us to present at their individual staff meetings. So, lessons learned. You will see this graph that the highest points are where the people responded the most. So we had the survey open for 30 days. We really only need 2 weeks. So the next survey we do is going to be open for a 2-week window. We made a decision also to have the pulse surveys twice a year. So effective the next fiscal year, you will have them twice a year, but we're going to keep the quarterly town hall meetings. While promoting the engagement survey, we also noticed that people respond more to their leaders. So you will get an email from HR, but then further emails will come from your leaders about when to take the survey, to have those conversations with you about the themes if you have any questions. Do you guys have questions? Okay, thank you.
So Cheryl's presentation was the perfect segue into talking about recognition as employee engagement is an arm, recognition is an arm of employee engagement. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about just some updates I have about the employee recognition program. How many of you know we have a recognition program? That makes me happy, all right. Most of you know that, great. So I'm going to give you a couple of updates and then we're going to talk about the List 1 Values PIN program, and I have some pins to give out to you guys. But I just wanted to update you. We are right on the cusp of our annual employee holiday celebration. So there will be 2 celebrations being held, one on Wednesday, December 11th, 6 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. in the cafeteria downstairs for our off-shift folks. And then on Thursday, December 12th, there will be a larger celebration from 12:30 to 4 p.m. for those of you who would like to come to that celebration, you are obviously welcome to come to that if you do work an off shift. We'll have a photo booth and some games and trivia and things like that, so I encourage you to attend that on Thursday or Wednesday, whatever you decide. January, so a part of the recognition program, we want to expand it a little bit to make sure that we are honoring folks more deliberately and thoughtfully. And so we're going to launch a Employee of the Month program that will culminate into an Employee of the Year program. And so you'll get more details about that next month with the announcement of the first Employee of the Month with the top of the year. I hope that made sense. All right. And then everybody know about the List to One PIN program specifically? We get new employees every month, so I just want to make sure that everybody knows how to nominate. Yes? Yes. All right. So I'm just going to then go on to read some names, and if I call you, just please raise your hand so I can get you your lanyard and pin. All right? Latoya Smith, CNA, was honored for excellence. Fernando Matos, Help Desk Technician, was honored for teamwork. All right. Alexis Miller, our Nurse Educator, was honored for teamwork and service. Linda Brown, CNA, was honored for excellence. Erica Bennett, CNA, was honored for teamwork. Bonnie Mangrum, LPN, was also honored for teamwork. Tiffany Lemon, LPN, honored for excellence. Jermaine Jackson, CNA, honored for excellence. Jesse Hodge, CNA 3 to 11, honored for integrity. Sophia Moore, CNA, honored for teamwork. Winsome Bardem, CNA, honored for integrity. And someone put in the entire staff of the 3 to 11 shift on 2 South. I'll have to come personally deliver yours because I have to make sure I have an accurate listing of that group. But 3 to 11, 2 South, thank you so much. Thank you to all of you who were named today. Fill out those cards. There's an electronic form as well. If you want to nominate somebody, please do. And if you don't do it formally, just walk up to somebody and say thank you. I think that's also impactful. So we'll keep expanding the program so that we are thanking one another, and I appreciate you all.
You know what, Latasha, I think it would be great if we could publish the people who get pins and the pin they get in the insight and maybe on the intranet. So this is our, we're down to a few more minutes. I wanted to check in about any questions on anything that we kind of blew through. We're trying to really keep it to time.